Hi, I'm Daniel Golding from Area Pest Control. Welcome to episode 5 of our mini-series on food hygiene ratings. If you are an owner or manager of a food outlet, commercial kitchen or any business that is given a food hygiene rating, this mini-series is going to be extremely useful, not only for you but also your staff, in helping you to achieve a food hygiene rating of 5. Coming up in this episode, we have a food auditor's 5 common mistakes that can lead to a low food hygiene rating. Just welcome back Ethan, thanks for coming along Ethan.
Pleasure.
And giving us your 5 common mistakes. So just a bit of an insight in your jobs this week. From your inspections, what's given you the most cause for concern? What have you seen or come up against?
Yeah, okay, so previous when I've been to inspections, it could be down to language barriers, which is a great challenge to have.
I bet.
You know, for me, it's all about working with the client, not having anything that disrupts me. So could we have like an app or anything to work with them?
Okay.
If it's in the kitchen, I know the layout of it, I will work with them.
Right, okay.
So it's all about...
So you could even have a translation app.
That's right.
So if you, 2 different languages, okay, just to get through the inspection, that can work.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
It can happen, but that's something I don't want to happen.
No, you'd rather try and get through it different ways.
That's
Okay,
right.
alright, well that's interesting. Okay, so 5 common mistakes that can lead to a low food hygiene rating score.
Yeah.
Your number 1 is previous issues that haven't been fixed.
Okay.
And this is from a report, is it?
Yeah, that's correct. So if it hasn't been actioned since the last report, that's something we need to look at. Why it hasn't been looked at?
Right.
You know, could it be down to staffing issues?
Okay.
Could it be down to just incompetency?
Okay.
That's something we are looking at and it needs to be rectified.
Right, okay. So the key thing there is anything the environmental health officer has reported on from the last visit, make sure that's rectified. So whether if it was a piece of equipment that wasn't working or was dirty, make sure you have rectified that issue. Because obviously all these things, these common mistakes we're telling you now, if you let these slip and if they are one of your mistakes, then your food hygiene rating could go below the current score. So number 2 on common mistakes is record keeping. Yeah. So again, this is going back to the folder. Yeah. So record keeping in the back, and just walk us through that. What sort of records and checks should they be making?
Yeah, so looking at risk assessments for the whole building itself, looking at the boiler room, so you want to look at the whole kitchen itself, whether they have a playground as well, soft play area.
Okay.
You want to look at that, whether the staff are under 18, whether they're pregnant or not.
Right.
Making sure that's signed off and documented in the confidence and management books.
Okay. So this is all just making sure all the documents and procedures are in place.
That's right.
Right, and if they're not, obviously they need to get them up to standard before the inspection. Okay,
Yeah,
so number 3 common mistakes is pest control.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your findings.
Yeah, so having an effective pest control can lead to huge implications. You could be fined, you could be prosecuted for that.
Right.
Making sure that your staff are competent enough to know where the bait boxes are.
Okay.
Pest proofing equipment. Making sure just free from pests.
Right, okay.
Cleanliness is key.
So staying free from pests, keeping it clean. If you're letting that slip, then it's going to be you're going to get downgraded on your hygiene rating.
Definitely.
Okay, so that brings us on to number 4 common mistakes, which is cleaning.
Yeah.
Why are people making mistakes there?
Yeah, I think there's lack of training, lack of education. I think it needs to be highlighted every day.
Right.
Cleanliness, the whole general of the kitchen, the toilets as well, changing rooms.
And this comes back to doing the opening checks and closing checks.
That's right.
So you'd be checking on clean highness. If they've got a cleaning crew that comes in out of hours, checking that they've actually been and they've actually done what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so number 5 is the staff training. So what common mistakes are restaurant owners making on staff training?
Yeah, okay, so they should have a refresher every 6 months or a year.
Okay.
To do with food safety.
Right.
Not just food safety, but first aid, could be health and safety also.
Okay.
Just making sure that they are competent and wise enough to know what actions they can put in place regarding training.
Okay, so it's just keeping the training up, making sure if any new legislation or regulations come out, they're training their staff within them guidelines. Okay, brilliant. That brings us to the end of the food hygiene rating top 5 common mistakes episode. Let's make sure you're not making those same mistakes. Thank you to Ethan for being here today and helping our viewers to be better informed on what not to do. Thank you for watching, and do come back to episode 6 when we'll be talking about product withdrawal and recall. It's a really important issue for food outlets. Click on the subscribe button to be sure you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks, see you soon.